What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing Ravens content every single day. It's been a while since we've been able to go live since I've been out of town, but we're back. And Lamar Jackson also posted a picture of himself. He definitely looks like he's been hitting the weight room a good amount. Even DK quoted it and said, "Hey man, leave some muscle for me, or leave some arm for me." I think he said. He looks really good. Joshua. How are you feeling about, Lamar bulking up, Justin Houston? How are you feeling about the Ravens?
I mean, I said it. I already said it. It reminds me. I know it's too soon to make that comparison. He hasn't became the GOAT yet, but it reminds me of Michael Jordan going into like his fifth, sixth year into the NBA. He made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. He played against the Detroit Pistons. They had the Jordan rules. He was fatigued. He was tired.
Yeah.
Because the Jordan rules pretty much. Jordan go up, try to make the points. Y'all already know what those bad boy Detroit Pistons were going to do. Matter of fact, shout out to the Detroit Pistons. They made some moves this offseason. So I'm looking forward to seeing the NBA season next year. But back to Lamar, I feel like this is his Jordan year, where he finally steps into his own a little bit more, and finally brings home that title. I mean, we've gotten over that hump of Tennessee Titans. I feel like our next hump would be the Buffalo Bills, possibly. I guess we could say another internal hump is learning how to stay focused if we get that bye, or just staying to our true identity once we get into the playoffs. But I feel like this team, this upcoming year, will be more mentally sound and be more ready to go. And I love it. I love what he's bringing. I love the vibes. Boy, what's going on with you, baby?
Yeah, I like the comparison to Michael Jordan. We've seen these comparisons for Lamar Jackson, whether it's Giannis right before he won his championship in Milwaukee. Lamar Jackson, when you have guys like Lamar, guys that are able to come in and be that successful early on,
Mm-hmm.
and they haven't won the championship, but they've dominated, they're going to draw a lot of hate. And at the same time, they're going to have their success at some point. We even saw it with Mahomes. Mahomes came in that pseudo rookie year, didn't play his rookie year. He dominated. He won the MVP. He was throwing for like 50 touchdowns. It was unbelievable. Then he loses in the playoffs. And everyone's like, told you. He's not it. Well, the next year, he comes back and he wins that championship. Giannis was a guy that dominated, and he was a freak, and he did something different than anybody else in the NBA. He, would slide through the defense. He would get dunks.
Right.
And people would say, he can't really do it. He can't shoot. He's not a great shooter.
Right. Right.
Well, what did he do? He kind of worked on that shot. Now is he the best shooter in the NBA? No. But he can shoot. It's the same thing with Lamar. Lamar comes in and they're like, yeah. The way he spins and, does all the running. But he can't really throw, to the level that we think that he needs to be able to throw to win. Well, he's worked on that, and he is now at a point where he absolutely can throw to win. And is he the best passer in the NFL? No. But he is definitely good enough to get it done. And that's all that matters. Giannis is a good enough shooter to be able to get it done to where the defense can't just back off like they do against Ben Simmons. And it hurts your offense. No, Lamar can throw the ball. He can run the ball. He can do everything that he needs to do to get the Ravens to win. So, him, if he's able to come back and he's gotten bigger, which I think is scarier for defenses because he's not bigger in the legs, because that's not something that he's talked about. Like, he doesn't want to, like, try and go crazy and, like, bulk up the legs. But in the arms, that makes him better holding onto the ball when he's running. He's had a fair bit of fumbles. A lot of times he recovers them, but making sure he can keep holding on to that football, making sure that when the defense tries to tackle him, maybe he can get through it a little bit more. Maybe he can, shed the defense, all those types of things. But I think it's great. I think it's great that he's looking bigger, and obviously, the picture maybe he may be flexing. We don't really know, but he looks good. And that's what really matters. And I see a lot of people in the chat. How you doing, Don C? How you doing, Yolanda? How you doing, Cam Neal? Aaron? Let's see here. Don, another Don D.
Yeah. Nice. What's going on, family? What's going on? Love to have y'all here on a Friday evening.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that are happening with the Ravens, and what's crazy is like training camp starts in a few weeks, or not train. Well, I guess training camp, but I was saying preseason starts in a few weeks.
Are you looking forward to the 3-game preseason?
I'm always looking forward to preseason just because it always gives you a chance to watch like a lot of the guys where you may not get to see them in the regular season. And we get to see what the guys in the offseason worked on. I want to see Tylan Wallace.
Yeah.
I want to see James Prochet. I want to see Devin Duvernay really in that opportunity. Honestly, we may get to see a little bit of Rashad Bateman in each of the games just because he still hasn't played a ton. I mean, he's only played in like 8-9 games.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of it's funny how you brought up Rashad Bateman because I was thinking like since he's going to be the number 1 wide receiver, I feel like we don't see him for those 3 games. Especially with everything that's happened last year. I know a lot of starters are going to be sitting out in these, and I think us going from a 4-game preseason to a 3-game, it actually I feel like it's going to make the competition more sweeter for the simple fact that you got a 90-man roster, you got guys fighting every day, and after that first game, you're going to see people get cut immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to that wide receiver room. It's very overcrowded. I'm looking forward to see who is going to be the guy that shows out the most and make themselves known. I know we're not going to see Boyle nor Mark Andrews, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how Isaiah Likely, aka the Gorilla, and Kolar, and see what they bring. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Daniel Falahi and brings to the table, and Big Sexy.
Oh yeah.
The big sexy Tyree Phillips. Nobody has talked about that left guard position. Everybody think that's locked up, but Tyree Phillips and Ben Cleveland, it's going to be a dogfight between those two.
And Makari. Even though Makari's not great on the inside. He's good at center, he's good at tackle. Don't get him at guard. But no, yeah, I definitely agree. The offensive line's going to be fun. We even get to see Tyler Linderbaum. That whole offensive line, we get to see the young guys. Yeah. And also, the young weapons are always fun, especially when they're trying to make the roster. Tyler Beatty, is a guy that we'll get to see. You brought up the tight ends. The wide receivers at the back end. Is Benjamin Victor going to be able to step up? The Ravens brought in, 50 undrafted wide receivers.
Right.
Are any of those guys? I cannot remember the guy's name out of Oregon. I know a lot of people love him.
I know you talking about, I can't think of his name.
I know. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name.
We brought in so many 6-foot-plus wide receivers, undrafted. Yeah. I'm even looking forward to Shamar Bridges.
Shamar Bridges.
T. Martin really did show him a lot of love in the previous press.
Devin Williams is his name. Thank you, Adam78.
Okay.
Shamar Bridges Williams. The other guy that is really fun is Diego Fagot, linebacker out of Navy. He's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I really want to see him against the NFL talent because when you're coming out of Navy and your whole job is to stop the run, and now he gets to go a little more, intense in the NFL. I think he's going to be a lot of fun to watch on that defensive side of the ball. So he's definitely someone that I'm looking forward to watching when we get up to that preseason. And do you know? I got to look it up. The Hall of Fame game. What's the Hall of Fame game?
I want to say that.
Is it the week before?
Is that going to be I want to say late August, at least.
August 4th.
Oh, okay. Excuse me.
So August 4th, Raiders, Jaguars. Is there anyone fun to watch in that? I don't think T-Law is going to play. Jaguars, they obviously drafted their guy first overall. Should have been Kayvon. Let's see here. Who is it? Who else did they have? Who did the Raiders draft? I feel like the Raiders didn't even have any draft picks.
I really don't remember.
We get to see, I think we'll get to see Travis Etienne.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a lot of fun.
We should be able to see him. He didn't play last year, right?
He got hurt like the first week at training camp or mini camp, tore his ACL or Achilles, and so we didn't get to see him. And Don C, are you referencing the Diego Fagot jersey? I don't know if that's a jersey that I'm wanting on my back. If he makes the team, maybe.
Trying to keep it politically correct.
I don't know if I could put it in the background. That's the tough part. I would love to put it in the background. I think that'll be really funny. Throw it
I'm
right
looking
up
forward
next.
to the linebacker. Did we get a linebacker from Auburn?
Yes, Zacoby McCain. Zacoby McCain. Void brought him up. Jeremiah Moon as well.
Those two guys. I see those two guys got good flow to the ball, how to fill the holes quickly. So with the linebacker room being very thin, I actually don't mind seeing those guys making a name for themselves. And I'm looking forward to seeing Pepe Williams. I know you're looking forward to see Mr. Immaculate himself.
The greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Jerry Rice is the GOAT. The greatest is Amon Marshall. All right. Those are the nicknames.
You're looking forward to see. I'm looking forward to seeing it with you.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Remember, y'all, open practices do start. Make sure you all get onto the Ravens website July 13th, which is next week, and sign up. I know practice. I want to say is like the last day of open practice, like August 7th, something like that.
I also see Aaron, I got a bone to pick with the NFL. I personally, in my humble opinion, believe that the league is getting too copycat. I think that's true. Majority of the teams have no individual or team identity as a whole. This is true. There is not a lot of individual team identity, except for the teams that win. That's the problem. When you look at the best team in the NFL, they have their identity. The Titans, they are a ground and pound, Derrick Henry-led team.
Yeah.
The Chiefs are flashy. They got Mahomes, they've got the speed. The Buccaneers, they're technical, right? They got Brady, they got Evans, like they're going to move the ball and they're going to be smart. The Rams are physical, yet not overpowering. They're physical and flashy at the same time. They're kind of a hybrid, right?
Yeah.
The Ravens are going to run the ball in a dominating, but not like the Titans dominating. It's more in a difficult to stop. All these best teams, the Bills are air raid. Josh Allen, just gun ho, all that stuff. The teams that copy that, they're not winning. Because if you want to win, you need to have that guy that changes your culture. And so they're trying to just get relevant, so then when they find that guy, they can develop that team culture. It takes time to develop culture. So overall, I think it's, it'll take time. It'll take time, but it's always been a copycat league. Right when someone starts doing something, all the poor franchises that don't really have any identity. I mean, when was the last time the Jets had an identity? 1969 with Joe Namath. It was all about being too cool. That's about it.
I was going for DeMar Sanchez and the butt fumble, but
Oh yeah, I guess they've had that identity for a while. The epic fail identity.
Yeah,
Unintended.
No, I definitely agree with you. It's almost like if you want to win, let's do things differently. But at the same time, if you're doing things differently, you have to do like you said, McConnell. You have to do it in your own style and fashion. When it came to the running game, and we brought in the best high school coach known to man. He took the NFL by storm in 2019, and not too many teams could stop that. But what happened the following year? People start getting smarter. People start keying in on Lamar Jackson, the run game, things of that nature. So it's all about the culture, but it starts from the owner to the general manager, the coaches, then to the players. When I say that, the owner and the general manager has to be in one. It has to be in sync. Like, okay, when I say in sync, meaning, okay, we have these guys. What do we really want to do? What type of coach do we want to find? What type of organization are we trying to be? Are we trying to be a dynasty, or we're just trying to be relevant? And if I'm a general manager, I want to get a guy that is a generational talent that will, bring that will have my stadium always sold out, always have butts in the seat, and just be an electrifying player. And also with being an electrifying player, also having that winning mentality. And I would want a coach that got that dog in him, that doesn't give up, that just doesn't, lie down to what the media says, or, okay, we're getting beat by a team. Let's just give up. No, let's regroup. I like to win. I like to see my guys get out there and fight too. Let's go make something happen. So it's literally like a chain. It's a chain effect.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what we've talked about is, if you want to build that dynasty, you got to have somebody there that you can have behind or lead that dynasty. There's no dynasty in the history of any sport that didn't have the face and didn't have the identity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at it in the last 20 years in all sports. Well, there's Brady. There's the Steelers, but the Steelers had Big Ben.
Yep.
There's the. You can even look at the Ravens. It was always defense, and it was Ray Lewis. You can look at NBA. Obviously, the Warriors are the current one. You can say the LeBron dynasty if that counts, but that's just LeBron. The Lakers had Kobe. The Spurs had Tim Duncan. When you're looking at all of these teams, they had a guy that was there consistently and was able to get them to win. The Ravens have Lamar. He just needs the guy around him to get him to that next level.
Do you think it's another player, or or a possible another coach?
I think it's a coach. I think it's the coach. I'll say. I mean, obviously, if the Ravens get another player, I mean, I really believe in Kyle Hamilton, but I think it's the coaching. If he can get coaching that can elevate him.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree with that. I mean, honestly, I feel like once he gets the coach that will let him run a spread type of offense, I feel like that's when we'll win more games. We are winning, but win games in a way that makes a statement more than he's been making a statement, where he's now respected, because he's not respected as a quarterback. Let's be honest about it.
Yeah.
He can do all the bulking up. He can do all the, working out with different type of receivers and being down in Florida and everything like that. But if it's not producing on the field, if he's still having those, those intangible issues, or, those conflicts with the coaching where there's no trust, where he can audible out of different plays and he's reading the defense and things are not going his way, then, it's almost like he did all the work for nothing. I mean, and I don't want to be like everybody else, but we sometimes have to be honest about the situation. He's in year 5. We see him progressing. We know he wants to win, but at the same time, it's like we're still not taking those steps.
Yeah.
I know everybody talking about bringing in a big name wide receiver. The way money is for us, we penny pinch, so we're not bringing in a big name wide receiver. I would love to see a Michael Thomas paired with a Lamar Jackson. I would love to see a Mike Williams paired with a Lamar Jackson, but until Lamar Jackson leaves, hoping it don't happen, knocking on wood, we're going to always be penny pinching, getting the poor man, or we're going to do what we do now for the past couple of years. We're just going to attack the draft, whether it's drafting a wide receiver or going undrafted. Go crazy on the undrafted guys. But we definitely need a offensive coordinator or a head coach that doesn't mind going against the grain and truly believe in the talent that they have and bring out the best. Yeah. That's why I think Mike McDonald, we're going to have the best defense this upcoming season. I feel like Mike McDonald believes every man that he has on that defensive side to be a game changer. And I feel like he's going to analyze them, he's going to work with them, he's going to study them and see what best works for those guys and bring out the best in them. I mean, he did it in Michigan. I mean, arguably seen what happened. 2 of his defensive ends that went that was supposed to be third, fourth round guys arguably mentioned to the first round, and one guy drafted in the top 10. Did Aiden Hutchins get drafted in the top 10? I believe. Detroit picked him up, right?
Who?
Detroit picked up Aiden Hutchinson, right?
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Number 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if David Ojabo didn't get hurt in practice in the workouts, he would have been he would have been top 15.
Yeah.
Well, maybe top 10. Yeah,
He probably would have gone 14, honestly. Yeah.
that too. So it really falls. I'm looking forward to seeing how John and Gregory coach this offensive team because John literally got this contract extension off the strength of Lamar Jackson. I'm gonna be real. John Harbaugh, he can coach. I'm not going to take that away from him. He is the leader of all leaders, in my opinion. He can give you a great speech. He knows how to handle the media, but sometimes he does fall by the wayside. You got to be real about that, y'all.
Yeah. Let's see. Robbie Anderson. Yeah, Robbie Anderson was catching passes from Lamar Jackson with Willie Snead. I mean, okay. Robbie Anderson makes like $10 million a year. And apparently him getting upset, I think that was more because he really likes Sam Darnold. And also apparently like he's talked about how like that quote was like taken really out of context. And he's actually totally fine with it. But yeah, Willie Snead, bring him back to Baltimore. I'm just kidding. Definitely don't do that. Willie Snead's probably telling him, man, you don't want to go play for the Ravens. You know why? Greg Roman.
Yep.
You don't want to go there.
Yeah, they talk. It's interesting to see how some of the guys that have left the organization or now retired are now speaking out. Especially like Dez Bryant, Willie Snead, Marquise. They all know what's going on. So it's like I hear people defend Gregory Roman, but at the same time, how much defending can you do when you actually hear from the players that's inside the locker room? I mean, if you played sports before, everybody knows how it has been. You get onto the sideline, the coach asks you what's going on. Usually, the coach helps you make adjustments. If Greg Roman sits in that skybox and he does nothing every Sunday, even Thursdays and Mondays.
Yeah, honestly, especially Thursdays and Mondays. This is the primetime games.
So I mean, I don't think too much into that. I feel like I don't know. Willie Snead is a Florida guy, but I know Robbie Anderson is a Florida guy. Everybody needs to get that work in. So I don't look too deep into that. And like I just said, we penny pinch on certain positions, and when it comes to wide receiver, we definitely penny pinch. It is no wide receiver out there right now outside of Julio Jones and maybe Will Fuller that can give the same production as a Derek Mason or Anquan Bolden or Steve Smith Sr. That's the only thing I wish Lamar Jackson had is a safety net in a wide receiver. And maybe that's going to be in one of his young guys. Maybe that's going to be in James Prochet. Maybe Tyler Wallace. Maybe Rashad Bateman. Really hoping for Rashad Bateman, honestly. Yeah. But definitely, we just got to see how this play out. We got to see how this play out. We got to trust these young guys. I feel like they got a chip on their shoulder. They really going to show out.
Yeah, we're going to see what the Ravens are able to do. Silence my phone. There we go. See what the Ravens are going to be able to do with that wide receiver position. And maybe the safety net's not a wide receiver. Maybe it's a tight end. He's got money man mark.
Yep.
He doesn't really have the wide receiver. I don't think the Ravens have a wide receiver where anytime they get the ball, they can take it to the house. That was kind of Hollywood. That was what Hollywood brought. You can argue Devin Duvernay. The issue is we never get to see Devin Duvernay make any short intermediate catches.
I'm about to say you don't get enough passing plays too.
Yeah, like maybe he's the Jets sweeps. I don't really consider that a check down, take it to the house. Whereas Hollywood, you throw him that quick slant.
The burners.
Exactly. So we'll see what the Ravens are able to do with that explosive play. Maybe we'll get it from guys like Tyler Beatty. As a guy, or even the Gorilla. We'll see.
That's what I'm hoping for. Honestly, I think that might have to be the wave. I'm not going to say it has to be the end all be all, but I feel like if you line them up at the X receiver, how much more can it hurt us? I mean, we already are a run dominant offense. You get a guy on the outside that likes to block and also can catch the ball. And honestly, he needs to redeem that number 80. I mean, I know it's a lot of. I know he don't think about it, but I mean, it's a lot of pressure wearing the jersey number 80. I mean, he don't. I know he ain't thinking about it, but I mean, um, yeah, it's a lot of pressure because we went from a tight end that should have been. Excuse me, we went from a wide receiver that should have been a tight end. So now we got a tight end that should be a wide receiver.
Exactly. And yeah, those guys are fast, but they're yet to show. Other than Duvernay, Duvernay has shown that he gets the ball in space. He can make plays as a returner, but Bateman and Wallace, we have not seen catch the ball and make plays after the catch yet. Now, do I hope they can? Yeah, but I don't think either of them are going to be able to turn on the burners. And I think Wallace ran a 4.4. I don't think he ran 4.3. But no, I mean Bateman maybe he was all right in college after the catch, but none of them are a Kadarius Toney or guys like that. Outside of potentially Duvernay. Duvernay could be that guy. It's just whether or not he's used.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we could talk about guys running 4.4s, 4.3s, 4.2s. Yeah, speed kills, but at the same time, if you don't have no wiggle, if you don't have the intangibles, if you really can't do nothing after you catch the ball, it's only but so much you can do.
Rashad Perriman.
That guy, sometimes he didn't even bring his hands to the games, So
It's true. They called him the Shaq Griffin of the wide receiver position.
Yikes. That's terrible. That is terrible.
I've been to a couple games when Likely was at Coastal Carolina. I have him as an X factor, as a wide receiver tight end. Put plays a lot outside. I would love to see him and Shamar Bridges or Devin Williams lined it up. I think the other big guy is Benjamin Victor. I think is the other guy that we could maybe see there. But absolutely, I would love to see him lining up on the outside with his size and strength and pass catching ability.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, these 3 preseason games, they're more crucial than any other preseason before because the way the season is formatted, the way the Ravens are going to go about it with securing players and keeping them healthy. I'm pretty sure we're not going to see Lamar Jackson. I'm pretty sure we're not going to see Ryan Stanley. I mean, we're going to see those veteran guys show up. I know we're not going to see Marlon Humphrey, Patrick Queen, those guys like that out there suited, in preseason. So these young men that's undrafted, that's fighting for a position. I feel like these 3 games that's going to take place, it's going to be so more competitive. That wide receiver room is overpopulated. Look forward to seeing Snoop and the other quarterbacks, duke it out and throwing out the deep ball and the wide receivers making things happen. I'm looking forward. I'm honestly looking forward to this whole season. So I definitely like that.
Okay, there's a lot of people talking about how Hollywood didn't have any yak. Hollywood was great after the catch in space. Hollywood is not a break a tackle wide receiver. It's a get him the ball in space and he's going to turn on the Jets. Look at what he did against the Steelers with Trace McSorley hitting him. Catches it on the sideline, turns up the field, jukes out Minka Fitzpatrick, 75-yard touchdown. Look at what he did against the Miami Dolphins in his first ever game. Catches the slant, breaks the tackle, takes it 45 yards to the house. Look at what he did in that same game. Catches the ball over the top, dodges Minka Fitzpatrick's tackle, takes it to the house. He is a guy where in space, if he catches the ball, he can take it to the house. The issue is if there's like a safety, in front of him and a corner to his side, he's not going to try and, truck a guy and get past him. It's the in space catch and run that made him so dangerous in a lot of those games. That was the big thing. It's not can he, step up and do all these things that other players can't do, like truck a guy and run 50 yards like a Debo.
Right. It's different style. It's a different style of wide receiver.
He's yards after catch. He's not yards after contact. I think there's a difference.
Yeah.
Different yaks. And no, we should not have taken DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf would not be good in Baltimore if he was drafted to Baltimore. He would not have been good. Because he's not a route runner, at all. And we had Greg Roman. He would not, Greg Roman wouldn't have used him, and he wouldn't have been that good. And if Hollywood went to Seattle, everyone would have been like, I cannot believe the Ravens drafted DK Metcalf over Hollywood. Because Hollywood and Seattle would be like a much better Tyler Lockett. I like small, great tracking the ball. It would have been filthy.
And everybody want to bring up about, we should have got drafted DK Metcalf. You got, I'm not gonna say you guys that's in the string right now, but Ravens Nation almost lost their shit when Rashad Bateman did he change like his I want to say he changed his agent and took down the Ravens information for a little bit for some time, and everybody oh, he didn't change his age. He changed his agent. He's going to request a trade. I'm pretty sure Rashad Bateman is a young man that wants to have the ball in his hands. He is a playmaker. He knows he can make things happen. But I feel like he has a more humble spirit than other wide receivers in this league. So I'm glad we didn't draft DK Metcalf because it wouldn't have worked out. That's a young man that wants the ball. That's a young man that believes he's a playmaker, which he is. I don't have a problem with that. But the thing is, you can have all the playmakers in the world, but if you're not designing to put your playmakers in the best position, what am I being here for? I'm wasting my talent. Yeah, I may be getting a check, but at the same time, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
It's all about your happiness. And these guys want their stats. They want to be all pros. They want to be in the Pro Bowl. They want to get the extra money. And I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. And it's fine to be that guy. It's just DK Metcalf would have been worse because DK Metcalf also has a significant drop problem. And he's more of a diva that yells at his coach. At least Hollywood, Hollywood's a diva, but he was already friends with Lamar. DK, Russell Wilson was working some Zen Buddha magic to get him to not freak out every time he didn't catch the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have been a Miles Boykin, but a little bit better at blocking. That's probably true.
Very true.
Yeah, Tonya, DK is definitely a diva.
I mean, it's given. That's wide receiver. That's the most diva position. They don't want to get hit. They don't want to get too dirty. Just want to do enough, make touchdowns, and do their dances. Not mad at that.
Yeah.
You gonna find the league has truly evolved in different positions, and I feel like the wide receivers that's been coming in for the past couple 4 or 5 years, they're bringing back that diva mentality.
Mm-hmm. And I see Bateman. I don't think Bateman's getting 1,400 or 1,500 yards. I mean, the Ravens just don't throw the ball enough to have a receiver do that. I would love for him to do it. I think he'll be pass catcher 1 and get the most yards, but I don't think it'll be in the 1,400, 1,500 yard range. He could maybe, 1,300 yards would be an unbelievable season, I think.
If he goes for 1,400 to 1,500 yards, he got to at least have 15, 12 touchdowns with it. And Gregory Roman has to take a, yes, I want to say take a back seat, but he's now listened to what everybody's been saying and actually develop an efficient passing game for Lamar Jackson. And honestly, I don't think that's happened as of yet. Um, and I really don't have a lot of faith in him. It's not a rant. This is not a rant on Gregory. This is, you know, we have to be real. He is the factor to the offensive success. And right now, as a Ravens fan, I'm not too keen on him. I like what he's done in the run game, but as far as giving us a balanced offense, nah, he's not. He ain't been making me too happy, to be honest. But I do feel like Rashad Bateman can be a 1,000-yard receiver this upcoming season.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like the Ravens playing a different system. Their yardage totals is going to be different. No one's going to go out there and win the Triple Crown playing wide receiver for the Ravens. Like, Devontae Adams not doing it, and he's the best receiver in the NFL. So, Darv, I definitely agree. Having J.K. back is going to be very nice to have because he's an explosive running back that can make big plays anytime he touches the ball.
He opens up the offense. Like, literally, Lamar would be more willing to do more checkdowns if J.K. was healthy last season. I promise you that. So, I mean, honestly, looking forward to Tyler Bailey getting those checkdowns and making things happen after you get the ball in his hand. And even Mike Davis. Because Mike Davis got good hands too.
Yeah, Mike Davis, we'll see how long Mike Davis is on the roster. I feel like he'll only be there for like a couple weeks if he even makes it. But
I feel like we get him to weeks. I feel like we have him to week 6. I feel like I don't know. I don't know about you, but me personally, I feel like when do we play the Bengals? Week 6?
I think it's week 6 or week 7.
I feel like we get everybody back by week 6, week 7. I feel like we got enough weapons that can get us to maybe like 4-2 or 5-1.
Yeah. I would have run. The problem is Greg Roman's not going to accept this. I'm fine with that, but Greg Roman does not want to be the run game coordinator. He wants to be an offensive coordinator because he thinks he's great. He's wrong, but he thinks he's great. Problem with Robbie Anderson is Robbie Anderson isn't that good. Like, Robbie Anderson is like a decent speed threat, but he's not the best speed threat in the NFL. It's like he's an okay deep threat, and that's it. He can't go underneath. He can't go intermediate. He's going to try and go deep. And he's got okay hands. So, like, I don't see the love for Robbie. Like, I like him. He's good at what he does, but for the amount of money that he makes, he's not worth it. Especially for the Ravens offense.
Yeah, Robbie Anderson is like an upgraded Seth Roberts. Sorry, not sorry. But yeah, that's how I feel about Robbie Anderson.
Don C, I have no idea what days will go live once camp starts. I do not know that yet. We'll try and make it consistent. That's the only thing is we'll try and get a consistent day. Or days, I don't know. What would it take to get DJ Moore? A lot. DJ Moore is a very good young wide receiver. The Panthers will not want to trade him. It would take too much.
No, y'all gotta stop asking about us trading for wide receivers, y'all. We'll trade for everything else except that position. we probably won't even trade for quarterback. I don't see us never doing that. I see us actually continuing in the draft if we don't re-sign Lamar. But I feel like that deal is gonna get done. So I just don't see us putting all our faith in Snoop. I don't have nothing against Snoop. He's a good backup quarterback. I feel like he can be a solid QB for a team that has pieces already around him. But to build your whole system around him, I don't think he's that guy. Not yet, in my opinion.
Yeah. Do you guys have any other questions? About stuff. I know there's not a lot really going on in the football world outside of Lamar worked out with, Robbie and Willie. But that is really pretty boring so far.
Yeah, Madden's coming out. Trent Williams been named. He's been rated 99 offensive lineman.
Yeah.
College football dropping in 2023 in July for EA Sports. I hope EA don't mess it up.
I get large jerseys, Don C. Oh man. Let's see. I have a hunch that Lamar. I don't think so. The Ravens would announce it. The Ravens wouldn't just not say anything because it adjusts the cap numbers a lot. And that's something that they would want to celebrate. I don't think that there's no benefit for him signing a deal and not announcing it. I don't see anything that comes out where it's oh, that would be beneficial to keep it hidden.
And he's too vocal this year not to celebrate his new contract, honestly.
Yeah.
He's been so low key, but going into this year, he's been on a different type of wavelength. Dude is mad vocal. I love it. I actually love the energy that he's bringing out, and I feel like he's going to have so much fun this upcoming season. And honestly, I mean, it's going to be interesting. So yeah, if he signs a new deal, he gonna let the world know, and his people won't be happy for him. I feel like Marquise and Randall Brown Jr. They're gonna be some of the first two guys to post out to share something on Instagram or Twitter or something like that, showing love.
Yeah. Oh, let's see here. What will it take to get Lamar Jackson? I don't think Lamar's focused on it. I don't know if there's anything that's Lamar sitting there and he's no, I won't sign it until you do this. I just think he's I'll just sign it after the year.
Yeah, I feel like he definitely wants to just play this year out, see what he can do. He's betting on himself. Yeah. I see nothing wrong with that. I mean, he wants to show what he can bring to the table. He wants to show what he can do. I feel like this will be his year where he shuts up a lot of doubters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, everybody talking about him bulking up, which is actually the best thing for him to do. He doesn't get hit a lot. He doesn't take big hits. He's a smart man. So I'm looking forward to seeing how his IQ goes up another notch in regards to just being a pocket passing quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, for him, it's not the forefront of his goals because he knows he's going to get paid
wherever he goes.
Exactly.
So put it out there, y'all. Wherever he goes, and he's always going to have a fan in me. I'm going to be real.
Yeah.
So, I've been saying it all week to myself, McConnell.
Yeah.
The Carolina Panthers kind of remind me of a Friday Night Lights team. Now they got the controversial quarterback competition. How do you think it's going to play out?
I think it's going to work out really well because they have Christian McCaffrey, and it doesn't matter who's a quarterback.
You know what? The funny thing you said, Christian McCaffrey, because in Friday Night Lights, the show, they have a running back named McCaffrey. I feel like if they let Baker Mayfield start, he's going to bring a lot of excitement, especially if they run an air raid type of offense. And like you said, Christian McCaffrey is going to make things happen. He's definitely going to be in the conversation for comeback player of the year.
Kohler, I don't think Kohler's going to be outside because at his frame, he's more beneficial being able to block. Like being able to get on the edge and... Because who would you rather have blocking Khalil Mack, right? Or TJ Watt on
I'll
the
take
edge?
Kola off the strength of his length.
Kohler or Isaiah Likely?
Yeah, Kolar is he's more for blocking. I mean, granted,
Yeah.
he has passing game. He can get a little bit of separation, but I would take someone that was formerly a wide receiver on the outside versus someone that they're trying to convert to
Yeah.
wide receiver in a Kolar. I'd rather have him. He is the upgrade of a Nick Boyle.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Let's see.
But if they do it though, and he makes it happen, because Kolar can box out. That's the good thing about him.
Yeah.
He can box out in the end zone. So I mean, it's all about if we run the pass play all over to the right. I hope we don't see that this year. It will stress me out if we see that like 20 times a game. But
every 2-point conversion.
Every 2-point conversion. We're not even going for field goals this year. Not even going for field goals. Like, let's not even stress it out.
Tony, you're 100% correct. This game is much better of a game than Russell Wilson versus the Seahawks because Russell Wilson's not going to say anything. He's not going to do anything. He's just going to go out there and he's going to play football. Baker Mayfield is going to go out there and try and start a mosh pit level fight. It's going to be looking like a hockey game.
Shout out to the hockey draft last night.
Yeah. Honestly, they should have put up the... they had Jabari Smith and Paolo Banchero going at it on ESPN 2 instead of ESPN.
Bro, I'm gonna be real. When I was watching the draft, some of them dudes look like they were 16 years old. Like, the lineage in hockey is crazy.
Oh, yeah. All the Scandinavians and Canadians.
Pretty much. No, that Browns and Panthers game is definitely going to be highly anticipated, especially if someone does not get any suspensions.
Oh my gosh, Deshaun Watson versus Baker.
Yeah.
Well, because remember, who was the player that got suspended? They got suspended for like a year or 6 months, but they took it to court and they were able to play until it got resolved in court. And because like they got suspended for some, maybe it was Ezekiel Elliott or it was someone where they like took it to arbitration or something like that.
Was it Freaky Zeke?
Maybe it was DeAndre Hopkins or somebody went to court and it allowed them to play while it was getting settled in court.
Yeah, I don't know. That's wild.
And they were able to play like the whole year. Because it was during the season and they were like, well, we're not going to court during the season. So they waited like the whole year and it got like delayed.
I don't know. We got to look that up.
I don't even know what to look up. Who, like, NFL player.
Yeah, unfortunately, like that happened, but it's like when you hear some stuff like that, that is crazy. I don't think Deshaun Watson wants to sit out any longer. But at the same time, he has not been looking good in practice anyway. He's been getting picked off.
It was Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh, okay.
I think this was when he was like celebrating in Mexico at a parade or something like that. And, you know, he did something on camera and they were like, whoa. And then he sued the NFL. Okay. Yeah, so he appealed his 6-game suspension and it allowed him to play like until it got settled.
Okay.
I can't remember how long he got to play. He may have even had it completely settled. But I know he got to play at the beginning of the year because he sued. Which was, I just remember thinking, like, that's so lame. Like, why can you just sue and then not be suspended?
Man, I can't call it, bro. Like, it's crazy how things work out for certain players. Even with beat Brittany Griner right now. I mean, it sucks. It sucks. I mean, I hope everything eventually works out for her. She gets back home safely. But I don't know. She pleaded guilty. I don't know. They're talking about possible 10 years.
Yeah, I think Russia's just trying to stick it to America. They're just like, yeah, haha.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know. It's just kind of like, doesn't seem like America's doing anything about it, which is really sad. But
Yeah.
we'll see. Hopefully, it all works out.
No, most definitely.
All right. All right, guys. Do you guys have any other questions, Joshua? Is there anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up?
Man, no, not really. I mean, we got Justin Houston back. That was a given. That wasn't no surprise. He adds to the depth. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the only way I feel like Justin Houston can have a breakout season, not breakout, but a strong season.
A break
It really,
back.
yeah, that it really falls on Adolphe in his sophomore season.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Appreciate it, Don C. Appreciate everyone coming through, asking questions, stuff like that. We got up to like, I think we were over 40. And wrong siren, don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. The stream is not over yet. So thank you, everybody. For coming through. We appreciate you guys. Subscribe for Daily Ravens content. We'll see all of you again next time. And also, no food questions showed up.